In the previous video, we had come up with this equation right here, and in this equation, x represents the total number of donuts sold and y represents the income of Tommy. Now, Tommy could simply take the number of donuts sold, plug that in instead of x, and calculate the total income for the day. Now, let us take this equation and actually try and calculate Tommy's income for three separate days, where he has sold three separate different number of donuts on those 3 days. For this, let us use this table right here, and on this table, on the upper row, we have x, which represents the number of donuts, and here we have y, which is the money earned. Let's say on the first day Tommy sells a single donut, on the second day he sells 2 donuts, and on the third day he sells 3 donuts. So these are the 3 values for the number of donuts sold on the 3 days. Now let us try and calculate the money earned for the 3 days. On the first day, Tommy has sold a single donut, so I'll take 1 and plug that in instead of x, and our equation becomes y equals 2x, but x is 1, so 2 times 1 plus 4. If you remember, 4 is the income received through rent, and this term here represents the income received through selling donuts. Further simplifying this, I get y equals 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4, and this becomes y equals 2 plus 4 is 6. So Tommy has earned $6 on the first day by selling a single donut. Now let us do the same thing for the second day. Let me get rid of all this. Yeah, on the second day Tommy has sold 2 donuts, so I'll put that value here, and our equation becomes y equals 2 times 2 this time plus 4, and this simplifies to 2 times 2 is 4 plus 4, y equals 4 plus 4 is 8. So Tommy has now earned $8 on the second day by selling 2 donuts. Now let's do the same thing one last time for the third day. For the third day, Tommy has sold 3 donuts, and so our equation this time becomes 2 times 3 and plus 4, and therefore y equals 2 times 3 is 6 plus 4, and 6 plus 4 is 10. So Tommy has earned $10 on the final day by selling 3 donuts. Now we have the money earned on all 3 days by selling 3 different number of donuts. Now let us have a look at these 3 points regarding what we have discussed right now. Solution. What does the solution mean? Well, here we've talked about 3 different cases. So we've talked about a case where he sold 2 donuts and he's earned $8. We've also talked about a case where he sold 3 donuts and earned $10. These 2 cases are essentially solutions to this equation right here. What does that mean? Well, these 2 situations, selling 2 donuts and earning $8 or selling 3 donuts and earning $10, they satisfy the condition given in this equation right here. Even this holds true for this equation, and even this holds true, right? If I plug the value 2 in instead of x and the value 8 instead of y, the equality will be true, right? 8 will be equal to 2 times 2 plus 4, right? You've just seen that. So these 2 are essentially solutions to this equation. Now how many solutions can I actually have? Well, if you think about it, I have found 2 solutions here. A third solution is right there, 1 and 6. If he sells a single donut, he earns $6. So that's another solution to this equation. But similarly, x right here can have any value. It could be 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 100 donuts, because Tommy can sell any number of donuts, right? Therefore x could take up any value. And similarly, corresponding to that, y would have a very different unique value. So we've just seen, if x was 1, y was 6. If x became 2, y became 8, and so on and so forth. When it became 3, y became 10. And so as x changes, y will also change and take up a unique value. Therefore we realize that x and y can have any value. Of course the value of y depends on x, but they both can have infinitely different values, which essentially means that we can have infinitely many solutions, and that is what the second point means. So we covered the 2 points. Lastly, one is dependent on the other, which means one variable is dependent on the other variable. Now what does that mean? Well, of course, can you look at this and tell me which variable is dependent and which is independent? Well, if we look here, x can actually take any value. It is simply the number of donuts sold, and that could be anything. It does not depend on any other value. He can sell 2 donuts, 3, 5, 10, anything, right? On the other hand, y is not actually independent. Why? Because the value of y actually depends on the value of x. The income of Tommy depends on the number of donuts he has sold. Therefore x is known as an independent variable. Independent variable, because it is independent of all other values, whereas y is a dependent variable, just simply because it depends on this second variable, which is x. And then